Hey guys, Dr. Mike here, and if you're watching this, you're probably serious about taking control of your health. Especially if you're dealing with insulin resistance. It's a condition that affects millions, and it can be a real pain, right? One of the biggest challenges with insulin resistance is managing your blood sugar levels. See, when your cells don't respond well to insulin, glucose can't enter them efficiently, leading to elevated blood sugar. That's where your diet comes in. And believe it or not, even healthy foods like fruit can be tricky. Now, I'm not saying you need to ditch fruit altogether. Fruit can be a valuable part of a balanced diet packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But, and this is a big but, not all fruits are created equal. Some fruits have a high glycemic load, meaning they can cause rapid spikes in your blood sugar levels, which is something we want to avoid, especially with insulin resistance. So, in this video, we're going to break down 10 high glycemic fruits that you might want to avoid or limit if you're struggling with insulin resistance. We'll dive into why these fruits can be problematic and what you can eat instead to keep those blood sugar levels in check. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding how different foods affect your body is a huge step towards better health. Let's get to it. Okay, let's kick things off with a summer favorite, watermelon. Now, don't get me wrong, watermelon is super refreshing and hydrating, but it also has a high glycemic load. This means that after you enjoy a slice, your blood sugar levels can shoot up pretty quickly. That's because watermelon contains a type of sugar called fructose, which can be tough for your body to process if you're insulin resistant. Now, I'm not saying you can never have a slice of watermelon again, but if you're watching your blood sugar, it's best to enjoy it in moderation and pair it with foods that have a lower glycemic load, like a handful of almonds or some Greek yogurt. This will help slow down the sugar absorption and keep those blood sugar spikes in check. Next up, we have pineapple, another delicious tropical fruit that can be a bit of a troublemaker when it comes to blood sugar. Pineapple contains a good amount of natural sugars, and like watermelon, it has a high glycemic load. This means it can lead to those dreaded blood sugar spikes, especially if you're eating a large serving. Now, pineapple does have some nutritional benefits. It's a good source of vitamin C and manganese. But if you're managing insulin resistance, it's best to enjoy pineapple in moderation and be mindful of your portion sizes. And again, pairing it with some protein or healthy fats can help slow down sugar absorption and minimize those blood sugar fluctuations. Now let's talk about bananas. Bananas are a great source of potassium and are a convenient snack, but here's the thing, as bananas ripen, their sugar content increases. So, those perfectly ripe sweet bananas that we all love, they have a higher glycemic load compared to greener bananas. This doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to bananas altogether. If you're watching your blood sugar, opt for greener, less ripe bananas. They have a lower glycemic load and are less likely to cause those blood sugar spikes. And hey, if you're craving something sweeter, you can always add a dollop of natural peanut butter or almond butter to your banana slices for a balanced snack. Mangoes, oh mangoes, they're sweet, juicy, and oh so delicious, but they can also be a bit of a blood sugar saboteur, especially if you're dealing with insulin resistance. Mangoes are naturally high in sugar and have a high glycemic load, meaning they can send your blood sugar levels soaring. Now, mangoes do offer some nutritional value. They're a good source of vitamins A and C. But if you're watching your blood sugar, it's best to enjoy mangoes sparingly and in controlled portions. And as always, pairing them with a source of protein or healthy fats can help mitigate those blood sugar spikes. Dates are often touted as a healthy snack, and they do offer some fiber and potassium. But let's be real, dates are essentially nature's candy. They're incredibly high in sugar, and their glycemic load is through the roof. This means that even a small serving of dates can cause a rapid and significant spike in your blood sugar levels. Now, if you're enjoying dates occasionally as a treat, it's probably not a big deal. But if you're trying to manage insulin resistance and keep your blood sugar stable, it's best to steer clear of dates or enjoy them very sparingly. There are plenty of other fruits and healthy snacks that won't send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Papaya is a tropical fruit that's often praised for its digestive benefits thanks to an enzyme called papain. It's also a good source of vitamin C and antioxidants. However, papaya also has a relatively high glycemic load, meaning it can cause a noticeable spike in your blood sugar levels. This doesn't mean papaya is off limits. If you enjoy papaya, moderation is key. Stick to smaller portions and consider pairing it with foods that have a lower glycemic load, like a handful of nuts or some plain yogurt, to help balance things out. Chapter 7. Cantaloupe. The sugary surprise. Cantaloupe is a refreshing melon that's packed with vitamin C and beta-carotene. However, like some of its melon cousins, cantaloupe has a high glycemic load. This means it can cause a rapid increase in your blood sugar levels, which is something we want to avoid, especially if you're managing insulin resistance. Now, cantaloupe can still be part of a healthy diet. The key is to enjoy it in moderation and be mindful of your portion sizes. Stick to a cup or less at a time and consider pairing it with a source of protein or healthy fats to help slow down sugar absorption. Chapter 8. Lychee, the small but mighty sugar bomb. Lychees are small, sweet fruits that are often used in Asian cuisine. While they're low in calories and fat, lychees have a high glycemic load due to their natural sugar content. This means they can cause a rapid spike in your blood sugar levels, which can be problematic if you're managing insulin resistance. Now, lychees do offer some nutritional value. They're a good source of vitamin C and antioxidants. But if you're watching your blood sugar, it's best to enjoy lychees in moderation and be mindful of your portion sizes. Chapter 9. Grapes, the sweet temptation, in moderation. Grapes are a popular snack and they do offer some antioxidants and nutrients. However, grapes are also relatively high in sugar and their glycemic load can vary depending on the type of grape and how ripe they are. In general, it's best to enjoy grapes in moderation, especially if you're watching your blood sugar levels. A good rule of thumb is to stick to a small bunch of grapes at a time and avoid consuming large quantities. And as always, pairing grapes with a source of protein or healthy fats can help slow down sugar absorption and minimize blood sugar spikes. And Chapter 10. Dried fruits, concentrated sugar bombs. Dried fruits like raisins, dried figs, and dried apricots can seem like healthy snacks, and they do offer some fiber and nutrients. However, it's important to remember that dried fruits are essentially concentrated sources of sugar. The drying process removes most of the water content, leaving behind a much higher concentration of sugar per serving. This means that even a small amount of dried fruit can have a significant impact on your blood sugar levels. If you're managing insulin resistance, it's best to limit your intake of dried fruits or avoid them altogether. There are plenty of other fruits and healthy snacks that won't send your blood sugar soaring. So there you have it, guys. 10 high glycemic fruits that you might want to avoid or limit if you're managing insulin resistance. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding how different foods affect your body is crucial for managing your health. Instead of these high glycemic load fruits, focus on low glycemic load options like berries, cherries, apples, and pears. These fruits release sugar more slowly and are better tolerated by people with insulin resistance. They're also packed with antioxidants and nutrients that are beneficial for overall health. Remember, managing insulin resistance is a journey, and it's all about making informed choices that support your health goals. Stay hydrated, stay active, and keep making healthy choices. And as always, if you have any concerns about your health or diet, don't hesitate to reach out to a healthcare professional for personalized advice. Stay healthy and manage your blood sugar wisely.